Welcome to another edition of General Driving. Let's see what the road throws at us today. As you can see, the conditions are wet and there's a lot of traffic. I've just entered a 20 zone. I'm going to keep my distance from the vehicle in front. I can go over these bumps, as you can see most people are doing. The way I just did, I moved it in so that one wheel was either side of the bump. You can't always do that, as you can see. You can't do that here, so I'm going to slow down for it if I have to hit two. But where I can, I'll try and hit one. But like I said, it doesn't always work. So the vehicle in front of me is turning right. So what I'll do is I'll slow down just in case he doesn't make that turn. So you still stop the same distance from the vehicle behind, except when he's traveling or when they're traveling, you don't get too close to them. So you keep the 4-second gap when the roads are wet. As you can see, it's getting dark. When you move, like as in progress wise, you move with them but not too close to them, so you basically don't let them get away from you too much. You don't wait for them to move and then move, you move with them. So you anticipate when they're going to move and you move with them. Move it in for this bump, so I'll get one wheel either side of the bump, so you feel it less when you do that. See, I'd love to stop for people that, you know, are trying to cross, and the elderly and the people that need help crossing because it's raining, but you can't do that because you can't just stop when you feel like it. I mean, when you've passed your test, yeah, you can stop for them, but I wouldn't. You'd probably upset a lot of people by doing so. I'm going to slow it down here, it's getting a bit tight. The Tesco's hasn't popped properly. That's alright, as long as you take your time, you can carry on. I'm going to move it in because I only take the space I need when there's a vehicle coming. There's a roundabout just ahead of me. I'm going to turn right at the roundabout. So remember, you give way to the right at a roundabout, no one else. Well, this is most roundabouts anyway. So the rain's getting a little heavier, so I'll put my wipers on one more click, which is down. They could be up on your car. Be different. It's just important to know how your wipers work, remember, and your lights as it's getting dark. So at this time of the evening, what you want to do is you want to set your lights to side lights, not like the car that's coming. The vehicle that's coming now has got its headlights on. These dipped headlights. Dipped headlights are for when it's dark and you can't see, so you can see the road. Side lights are for when you want people to see you, but you can still see. So I can see the road quite clearly now, as you can see on the camera. So to avoid people missing me, I put my side lights on, which they are at the moment. That allows them to see me coming. And you'll see the difference on camera, and it's the same in real life. That when there's a vehicle coming up the road with lights on and without lights on, the one directly after it, you'll see the difference. This one's got his headlights on, this one's got his side lights on. They don't need their headlights on, really. But when you see a vehicle coming with no lights on, you're going to see the difference in the difficulty in seeing them once you've seen a few cars with their headlights on. when you're doing your left and right turns, or approaching anything like a roundabout, a junction, and you're doing your MSPSL routine, mirror signal, position, speed and look routine, this routine is done about 8 car lengths from before you want to start the turn. So it's about 8 car lengths. This fella's letting me go, so I'm going to do that. So they say 6 to 8 car lengths when you're turning left and 8 to 10 car lengths when you're turning right, but I've kind of met it at a minimum of one and the maximum of the other, so I just call it 8 car lengths. It's easy to remember. It's just one number to remember instead of 4. So just say 8 car lengths from when you want to turn left or right. Done. And this is when the procedure starts. Now you might get a situation where you can't signal because there's a vehicle, there's a road just before the one you want to turn on. In that case, what you do is you can still start the slowing down process. So I'm choosing the right hand lane here because there's parked cars on the left, which I saw as soon as I got to the junction. So it's important to look up the road as far as you can. We're not allowed in the bus lane now because it's 4 o'clock, and you're not allowed in the bus lane after 4 o'clock. Well, not all bus lanes, but this one in particular. I'm going to choose the middle lane anyway, and the reason I'm choosing the middle lane here is because I'm turning right at the next set of lights. I can't keep the right lane because the right lane turns right at these set of lights, as you can see on the floor. So I keep the middle lane and then I choose the right lane after these set of lights. If I was to be in the left lane and try and do that, it would be more difficult. It's not impossible, but it's more difficult. So we're not after making our lives difficult. And the easiest way to stay in your lane is to not go over any of the lines. So as you see, I'm here in the middle. There's a line to my left and there's a line to my right. And then you've got the arrow that the vehicle in front of me is over, telling me which way to go. Now the line to my left, the line to my right, I don't go over. It's the easiest way to do your lane discipline. So now I move over because the curb moves out, and I signal because I'm turning right, checking my mirrors. So the lights are green up ahead, but just because they're green, it doesn't mean the vehicles in front are going to carry on. So you've got to keep your distance still. I've just made it through the lights. You would have seen on my other videos that I do mention about going through an amber light. If you've already gone over the line, you should keep going because it's not safe to stop. So we've entered a road that is quite famous for people going over the speed limit and messing up their testing. It says 20 there, clearly. People miss it. It's such a big sign, but they still miss it. This is Beckenham Hill Road. And it's a 20 most of the way up. It's only when it gets to the brow of the hill it turns into a 30. We're going to attempt to do this 20 because it is quite frustrating to do 20, but you have to do it. And 20 is one of the hardest, believe it or not, speeds to stick to. Now what you've got to understand about the speed limits, because a lot of people don't understand this, is a 20 will repeat itself. A 30 will not repeat itself. Once it changes to 30, won't keep repeating it. See, if you look on your right hand side here, if you can see it, it keeps repeating. I'll try and slow it down a little bit more so you can see. Just where the lady is with the umbrella on the right hand side, you'll see the lamppost that says 20 on it. The small signs are reminders of the speed limit. The big signs are the speed changes. So 30 is the only one that don't repeat itself. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, they all repeat themselves. So if you look on the right side again, just coming up to this lamppost here, it says 20 again. And you've got vehicles coming around a bus, so I'm going to move left a little bit, and you'll see a 30 sign. You see the big 30 sign? That's telling you you're going into a 30. You won't see any more signs now. There'll be no more signs until you see a speed limit change. So there's no reminders of a 30. That's how you know you're in a 30. You can't say I didn't see a 30 because you weren't looking. It has to not be there. So you have to be looking for it and it's not there. There's a difference. I get people saying to me all the time, I didn't see the sign, so what's the speed limit? Did you not see it, or was it not there? There's a difference. So you've got to keep your eyes on the sign. Don't forget, you're driving the car, not the examiner, not your driving instructor, not your friend. You're driving the car, you're the one that's responsible for checking the signs, not just your speed limits, but all your signs. The no entries, the bus signs, the speed limits. So I was just working on 2-3 cars ahead there, if you're wondering why I was slowing down before the vehicle in front of me was slowing down. So I was braking a lot sooner than he was braking, because I anticipated that he was going to start braking at some point, because the vehicles, 2-3 vehicles ahead of him were braking as well. So eventually, even though he didn't know it, he's probably not paying attention to the road as much as I am, he was going to have to brake. So if I get in there first, I mean, let's say for example he didn't notice the road in front of him, you know, you don't want to be in that situation. So we stop in here because you don't want to block the crossing. Come up to a roundabout, I'm going to go straight at the roundabout, but give way to my right. There's a vehicle coming with his right indicator on. The next vehicle has a left indicator on, so I can go. Remember, their left, not yours, their left. Well, I hope the video was helpful and you subscribe to my channel for more updates on my latest videos, and I look forward to doing more videos with you.